Now into the four market structures. So the first structure we're going to look at is perfect competition. But the nearest example to perfect competition would be farming. Now here are the assumptions, or outline the assumptions underlying the theory of perfect competition. There are many buyers in the industry. No individual buyer can, by his own actions, affect the market price of the good. Each individual firm is a price taker and each individual buyer acts independently. There are many sellers in the industry. No seller can influence by his own actions the market price of the goods. Each individual firm is a price taker and each individual seller acts independently. Number 3, the goods are homogeneous. The goods which are supplied by the producers are exactly the same or identical. Thus it is pointless for firms to advertise. There is freedom of entry to and exit from the industry. Firms already in the industry cannot prevent new firms from entering the industry. No barriers to entry or no barriers to exit exist within the firm or within the industry. Perfect knowledge as to profits and prices. In the market, everyone concerned has perfect knowledge as to profits, right, made by the other firms in the industries. And consumers are fully aware of the prices being charged for the products. Firms try to maximize profits. The aim of each firm is to produce that quantity where MC is equal to MR and MC cuts MR from below. Number 7, no collusion exists between buyers and sellers of the good. Buyers do not group together with other buyers, or sellers do not group together with other sellers in order to influence the price. Note, perfect competition is so called because no one firm operating in this type of industry has any competitive advantage over the other firms in the industry. Now the first thing we're going to look at now is, and here's a question, outline the equilibrium position of a firm in perfect competition in the short run. Now, there's the diagram. So the y-axis are revenues and costs and the x-axis is quantity. Now, in perfect competition, AR is constant. And because AR is constant, AR is equal to MR. The AC curve is always U-shaped and the MC curve cuts the AC curve at its minimum point. Profit maximization occurs where MC is equal to MR and MC cuts MR from below. The firm will produce at quantity Q1 and at price P1. The firm will make supernormal profits at PATS. That's where MC cuts the MR curve from below. The existence of supernormal profits will attract other firms into the industry. And the reason for this is that there are no barriers to entry. Now, so look at the diagram there, and you need to be able to do that. Okay. Next thing then would be what happens when other firms enter the market. So let's have a look. In the short run, firms in perfect competition will make supernormal profits, as we've seen. Because there is freedom of entry and exit, additional firms will enter the market and this will increase the supply. And you can see the supply curve is shifting to the right. Increase in market supply leads to lowering of prices. Reduction in price will reduce profits and the firm could make a loss. Firms will leave the industry. Therefore, prices will go back up and profits will go back up. Now, here's the next question. Outline the equilibrium position of a firm in perfect competition in the long run. Now, look at the diagram there now. So, basically what's happened is the price has fallen from the short run. And note at the point of equilibrium, MC is equal to MR, is equal to AC, is equal to AR. And that's the only time that ever happens. Now, let's answer the question. So there's the diagram, and the question then is, or the answer then is, in perfect competition in the long run, AR is constant, therefore AR is equal to MR. The AC curve is always U-shaped, and the MC curve cuts the AC curve at its minimum point. Profit maximization occurs where MC is equal to MR, and MC cuts MR from below. The firm will produce quantity Q1 at price P1. Normal profits are being made.